For those who know who I am, I'm the FPS reviewer, and I review video games, not just FPS games. Some of you may know that my first review that I ever did was on the Die Hard trilogy on the PlayStation. Basically what it is a compilation of all three of the Die Hard movies, ported onto a different type of game genre, and then put on the PlayStation. It's an interesting little game. It's got kind of 1/3 of a game. I mean, you don't really get 3 games. Each one is fairly short, but overall it makes up for the entire game. So let's look at the first game here, and the original Die Hard game. Basically, each game is something different. Die Hard is a third-person type of an action game, where you just run around, shoot, and get to the top of the tower. So let's wait for this thing to load. Loading times aren't terrible, I have to say that. Alright, let's get into this one. Alright, the garage. Now, while I'm not really a big fan of the movies, it seems like they got this game pretty close. One thing you notice straight off the bat is there's no analog support for this game. So, for all you who are very used to the analog controls, this might be a pain because you're all over the place if you're not used to it. So the controls do take a little bit of time to get used to. As far as weapons go, you have different guns you can pick up. You have a grenade, and you have your fists. Other than that, I don't really know. So let's keep exploring this game, shall we? An interesting thing about this game, it has pretty cool acrobatic controls, especially for a PS1 game. You can sidestep, you can do a cartwheel and a somersault. But you pretty much have any acrobatic move that was available at that time. And as far as aiming in this game goes, it actually is pretty solid. I don't really have any complaints about it. There really isn't a whole lot to do in this game. It's a little bit fun. Well, it looks like we picked up another gun. Another gun. Whoa, alright. The more guns you pick up, the more fun this game becomes, and eventually it gets to be at the point where you get into it and it becomes a pretty fun game to play. So the original Die Hard game on the PlayStation is pretty darn fun overall. Due to the nature of this game, we're going to keep each review of each individual game on the disc short and sweet, so we're going to move right along into Die Hard 2, Die Harder. This one is an on-the-rail shooter game, and it's surprisingly done very well. Alright, so we're at the airport. Now, this game, once again, the controls take a little bit of time to get used to, being no analog support, but overall the D-pad is responsive, it works well, just takes a little bit of time to get used to, and this game definitely would seem like more fun if there was a gun peripheral or something, but apparently I do not have one of those on the PlayStation. Whoa, alright. We can shoot rockets, it looks like. Oh crap, how do you reload? Oh, alright, there we go. Now this is a very actiony game, as you can see all the explosions. Overall, once again, the graphics on the PlayStation are nice. They're not the best, but they get the job done. Nothing to write home about, though. Now, while on-the-rail shooters really aren't my cup of tea, this game still turned out to be pretty fun, and there's a lot of action in it, a lot of enemies to shoot. So overall, if you're one of those people who like on-the-rail games, this one will be pretty fun. It works well. I really don't have any complaints about it. It's overall just a well-made on-the-rail shooter, and it even works with the D-pad, so no complaints on this one. Overall, it's very fun. And this is probably my favorite game out of the 3. Once again, though, it would be more fun if I had a gun peripheral, but sadly I don't. It's also very easy at some parts of the game. Once again, controls take a little time to get used to, so you might die at first. After a while, after you get used to it, it becomes fun and you can get into it. Die, you pesky airport terrorists, die! Alright, now let's go on to the final game, Die Hard Vengeance. Now, while the first two Die Hard games in the trilogy revolve around shooting and on-the-rail type gameplay, this one is a driving game where you drive around the city defusing bombs, and it actually is a pretty fun game. So, let's check it out. Once again, though, it's interesting without the use of analog controls, so you might be all over the road, which is alright. Whoa, let's keep it straight here. Oh, wow, that was a fail. And you basically just go around defusing the bombs. It's a pretty fun game. It's very fast-paced, and if you like that kind of gameplay, then this one will probably be your favorite in the trilogy. I do feel the controls in this one are a little bit delayed, though. They're not quite spot on like the other ones were. But overall, they're not terrible either, graphics are the same in the other two games. Nothing to write home about, but pretty decent to say the least. Come on, get out of my way. Alright, let's go this way. Eventually in this game you start chasing cars with bombs in them, and you just have to crash into them to win that level. So this one has a little bit more variety in it, and I like that about this one. Overall it's a fun game, and I think you might enjoy this one more than the first game, but personally I enjoyed the On the Rails game better, especially since I suck at driving. God damn, get out of my way. I always hate driving games, just not good at them. Oh! It also seems like there's no brakes, that you just keep going, which is kind of interesting. You're just kind of all over the place. No, damn it. No, 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 oh! Hell no. So that's the Die Hard trilogy. Overall, it's a very solid PlayStation game, and I don't know whether or not it was on the N64 or maybe even the Saturn or Dreamcast, but it is fun on the PlayStation. The only bad thing I can think of to say about this game is the characters' lines were repeated over and over, and since it didn't have analog controls, because, well, I can give it that because it was an early PlayStation game, it is hard to control nowadays if you're so used to the analog controls. But if you are good with the D-pad, which I am not, this will be a fun game, and one that you can probably enjoy for a long time. So this has been the FPS Reviewer, and I am signing out.